What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the No Counts Given podcast, your premier podcast for all things dance. I'm your host, Kyle, and we have a very exciting episode upon us today. Our guest, you've seen her go viral on TikTok or Instagram. She is the one and only Marissa Powers from New York City. I'm very excited to have Marissa on the episode. I'm quite literally waiting for her to hop in the waiting room right now so we can start our interview. I have been following Marissa, or at least seeing her stuff on my For You page pop up time and time and time again. I have seen her teach all over the world, dance teams, classes, convention rooms. And so, yeah, I'm very excited. She just hopped in the waiting room. We're going to let her in. We're going to get on with this interview. But before we do, of course, I'm going to say it. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you follow all things No Counts Given. Leave a comment down below. Let us know who you would like to see on the show in 2026. Who would you like to see on the show here come the new year? Let us know, because I would love to bring people on the show that you guys want to hear from and learn from. And before we get into the interview, all of this would not be nearly possible without my sponsor, Dance Team Union. And for the first time ever, Prodigy Dance Convention comes to Dance Team Union Nationals. Get ready to elevate your performance and your future. Prodigy Convention blends elite training with real recruitment access. Explore jazz, hip hop, pom, technique, acro, plus chances to unlock one-on-one time with college recruiters. But what makes this event truly special is its home at DTU Nationals, hosted by Dance Team Union, an organization built to be bold, be authentic, be you. DTU was founded to bring a fresh coach and dancer focused approach to competition. They prioritize artistry along with technique, providing feedback that helps your team grow, not just compete, and foster a positive, inclusive atmosphere where each dancer is seen and valued. And now you have your chance to stand out. Registration is open, spots are limited. Go to danceteamunion.com to register and get ready to shine on February 5th at DTU Nationals in Orlando, Florida. Your story starts here. How's your day going? What's today? I'm so lost on my days.
It
What's
is
like a
Wednesday, I
normal,
know.
yeah, what's a normal Wednesday for you? Like what do you do?
I feel like I don't have a normal Wednesday. Like, I feel like I don't have a normal any day. Like, every day is so different. But I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
today I woke up, walked my dog, made myself breakfast, answered a ton of emails, had a call before this, and then I'm choreographing later. But tomorrow I have a
Amazing.
completely different day. So,
Yeah, no kidding. It's like the just typical life of like choreographer. Okay, I have to ask because you just said you have a dog. I'm dog searching right now. We're looking at breeders. What kind of dog do you have? What's name? I want to know what all
oh
the
my
tea. What is
gosh,
it?
she is on the couch behind me. I don't want to move my setup, but she is a black lab mix. So she's like a
Oh,
tiny lab. Yes.
uh-huh.
She also has like some Stratfordshire and a little bit of
Oh
Shepherd, which is
wow.
weird. But yeah, she's the best. She actually, super long story short, was my boyfriend and I met in college, and his older brother adopted her with his ex girlfriend. um, yeah, and then basically, like, they split, and Andrew, my boyfriend, was supposed to watch her when she was a puppy for the time being. They bonded. We've been together for a while, and she's
Oh,
been ours for ever since. So she's actually 8, but she acts like a puppy. She looks like a
wow.
puppy. She's the best. I would recommend a
Beautiful.
lab. They're very friendly.
Okay. I actually, funny story. I fostered a lab for a very short time. Black lab. It was when I lived up in Northern California. I was just walking home one day from the gym, and this black lab was just following me the whole way home. It was probably like 4 or 5 blocks and just followed me all the way home. I let it inside, and then I was like, okay, he's hungry. Got food, ended up
Oh
hanging
my
out with me for a
gosh.
year, and then I started like dancing in the NBA, and I was like, I can't give him the love that he
Yeah.
deserves. So I let my
Yep.
cousin adopt him and then went on from there. But love labs. We're looking at golden doodles right now.
So cute.
We
Yeah.
we want a golden
So
doodle.
cute.
Okay, I could go on a rant about animals. I
I
love
know.
animals. We have 2 cats right now, so I could go on forever.
Oh my
But
God.
Marissa, welcome to No Counts Given. I am so happy you reached out to me because I have a list of people I need to reach out to, and you've been on my list and sitting there since like the week one that we started podcast because I've been wanting to learn so much more about you. It's funny because I'm sure you get it when you're on social media, like people really just see the screen, you know what I mean? Like, and
hmm
I love to get to just know about people. So let's start very easy. Just let us know who you are, your dance journey. Yap for as long as you would like. Take the stage. Go ahead.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, I'm so happy this worked out too, because I've been following you ever since seeing your UDA videos. And I love that you have this podcast and like a platform for dance and dance team, especially.
Hmm.
So honored to be on it. But
Thank you.
yeah, I grew up in a small town in Massachusetts, actually, called Westfield. It's not close to Boston. Everyone's always like, "Oh, do you know?" Nope, I don't. um, but it was a great place to grow up. But yeah, I mean, I grew up a studio dancer, fell in love with it pretty much immediately. It was my whole life. And then
Yeah.
I went to college actually with plans to be a school teacher. But it
Wow.
was one of those things where, like, I don't know, you're 17 and everyone's like,
Hmm.
figure out what you want to do for the rest of your life right now. And I was like, I don't know. And
Yeah.
my parents were like, you like assisting your dance classes at your studio. I bet you like kids. Why don't you just be a teacher? And I was like, okay. But actually, like, I learned that I don't like school. I never liked school. I wasn't the best student. It was in any, I mean, I love kids, obviously, but it wasn't that. It
Yeah.
was dance. It was always dance. And I went to a college called Sacred Heart University, which is in
I
Fairfield,
know Sacred Heart.
Connecticut. Yay!
Yeah.
Yeah, so I went there, and it's about like an hour and some change train ride from New York City. I was able to not only like go to New York a lot myself and just take class and kind of fell in love with the city and like all the opportunities, but I was involved in their dance company. They have a dance team and they also have a dance company that's more like performance based. And yeah, I got involved with also their musical theater program. I would choreograph their musicals for them. And that was kind of my first taste of choreography and kind of feeling what it feels like to actually be the person choreographing and not
Yeah.
performing. Fell in love with that. But yeah, we were able to work with, they would bring in choreographers from New York since it's so close. And I kind of realized like I can actually make dance a career. I wasn't something that I like ever even thought of as a possibility coming from
Mm-hmm.
a family of no one who is involved in like the performing arts and not really being no shade but yeah, not being just exposed to that. Like obviously I was like, oh, maybe I could like open a dance studio like the one I grew up at someday, but I didn't understand
Yeah.
like all of the other avenues that you can take as a dancer and as a choreographer. So yeah, by the time I graduated, which was COVID year, which was so fun for me,
Amazing.
I was like, let me just go for it. And then, yeah, I started off just teaching at like local YMCAs or studios. And basically from there, everything's grown. I got involved with a dance team agency for a little bit called Brie Choreography. I'm
Oh
sure you're
yeah.
familiar.
I know Bree.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, she's the best. She really helped me out in my beginning years. And then I've been able to flourish. And honestly, I credit so much of everything I do, not just dance team. I do a lot of studio, I do theater, I teach here in New York, a ton
Hmm.
of stuff to social media. Honestly,
Oh
it's like
yeah.
such a resource that we have. And I think it's one of those things that you can either take advantage of or you can be annoyed
Hmm.
by. And it's obviously like changed my life and has given me the ability to do what I do. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. I feel like because I can't wait to go into more of social media just in general because I agree. I feel like everyone is annoyed by it until you take advantage of it. Because I was the
Hmm.
same way. You would not catch me on TikTok doing any TikTok dances. You're not going to
Oh,
see
yeah.
me like I wasn't gonna be doing all that. And so it clicked to me, and then I found like my own avenue, and I was like, okay, this is how I want to take advantage of. We'll talk about social media later. You brought something up that I was literally just talking to someone about yesterday or a few days ago, and it was like even when I was growing up, it was the same thing. My parents were like, I'm 16 years old. I don't know what I'm doing. They're like, what are you going to do? You're going to go be a lawyer. You're
Hmm.
going to go do this. And I had no idea what I was going to do because I also work with a lot of kids and I noticed that nowadays I don't see that. It's like the other way around now where like the kids are like, I need to go and do this. I need to get to this school. I need to go here. I need to go do this. And the parents are just like, I'm just here for the ride. Whatever they want to
Yeah.
do, go for it. Have you noticed that difference? Like how that's changed in the
I
eras?
actually, yeah, now that you say that, I have yeah, I was just having a conversation with a student of mine that's a senior, and she's just like one of those in the best way, just overachiever.
Yeah.
And yeah, she has like a 4.0. She's an amazing dancer and she's so independent, like whatever, she's the best.
Yeah.
But yeah, she is the one putting all this pressure like, well, I have this dream to like be a dancer, maybe be a rockette, whatever, but I
Hmm.
also want to be a doctor and want to like do all these
Yeah.
things. Like they have like all these different, like, yeah. So she's like, so I need to get through med school and then I need to train every day. Well, I'm like, girl, like,
Be a kid. Just be a
yeah,
kid, please.
I think I was so like, I don't know. I guess I'll just listen. I guess this is just what I'm supposed to do. That is interesting, though. I wonder what the reason is because I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's like one, I think the difference is like social media has like this huge impact where kids now have an easy way to be inspired by something that's in front of them versus like, I mean, I graduated high school 2013. I'm really aging myself right here, but 2013 I graduated. And like this was when we didn't even have videos on like
Yeah,
Instagram. It was just like little square boxes, click, you double tap and you move on. So I feel like social media has that huge impact. And I mean,
yeah.
I see it with all the kids nowadays. They see who's getting recruited onto XYZ team, who's getting
Hmm.
signed to this agency, who got called out at this convention. So it's just that social media impact, which I mean has its pros and cons, which I'm
Yeah,
sure you've
100%. Yeah.
experienced.
I'm happy that I mean I grew up with social media, but in the beginning of it, like I remember like
Yes.
when Instagram came out and then like Twitter was the big thing when I was in high school. It
Yep.
wasn't as big. Like I have like all these like 10-year-old dance accounts run by their parents with professional headshots and videos and all that, and like I'm like, wow, that is just like such an added layer, just specifically speaking of
Right.
dance, that I'm honestly grateful I didn't have to think about, because yeah, like before they
No kidding.
even are going off, they already have this like resume on Instagram that I
Yeah.
understand, but also yeah, that's a whole other conversation. It's
Yeah.
definitely
Let's
added
just
pressure.
Yeah, I was gonna wait to go into social media, but let's just go into it since we're already sitting here talking about it. What So I want to talk like because on social media is a great tool for networking. Like you could meet so
Hmm.
many different people out there and connect with coaches and studio owners. Have you found that like I mean you've had work and your videos quite recently like I mean I say dance team viral like it
Yeah,
goes like
yeah.
dance viral, and you're always on, everyone's For You page. I'm sure you get a lot of inquiries about like, hey, can you come? When are you available? So, but how do you play a part like in that social media slash marketing game? Because it's two different things, social media and marketing.
Yeah. I mean, I get a lot of inquiries, yeah, which I'm very grateful, and they are from my videos. Always, I mean, it's an entire second job is
Yeah.
that managing all of that, which yeah,
Yeah.
I made that decision myself. I just felt like I wanted to be, I guess I am just no, I wouldn't consider myself a control freak, but I guess with my career I am. Yeah, I just want to be the one managing all of that. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, if somebody sees a video of my choreography and messages me, hey, I would like you to choreograph for my high school team in Nebraska, just using an example of
Hmm.
something I've done, they might DM me, and then I will say, please email me at the email in my bio with some more information on your team. If it's a dance team, yeah, like what's your big competition that you attend at the end
Yeah.
of the year? Send me some videos of your team. How big is it? How many comps do you do? All of these things in order to like accurately, like obviously set a price,
Yeah.
and then figuring out, yeah, like kind of if we would be a good fit. I think at the beginning I was pretty much being a yes girl, saying yes to every single thing, trying to make everything work.
Oh
And
yeah.
I'm learning, yeah, along the way that not everyone is a good fit for every choreographer, and that's the beauty of it, and that's okay. And having those like conversations before we work together is super important, because yeah, I think a big thing with having videos go viral of like a finished dance, especially, a lot of teams will be like, oh, we want to dance, like for example, I
Yep.
choreographed for a high school last year called Lyons Township. They're in like a suburb of Chicago,
Hmm.
and their dance kind of popped off on TikTok, and they're amazing. But not everyone is going to dance their style and has their
Yep.
strengths. So I would have people be like, we want to dance just like this one to Halo on your page. And I would be like, can you guys do a team double turn? And they would be like, no, it's not really. And like, I'm exaggerating, but things like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think people want to, and that could start like a whole other conversation. I'm really yapping, but I've had people even send me like, I'm not actually even kidding, Minnesota's routine, and be like, we want a routine like this. And I'm like, number
Yeah.
one, what?
Mm.
Yeah. And number two, like, you're not them, so you're never going to be them. And I think in order to be like a strong program, you need to know your strengths and weaknesses, and
Oh
why we
yeah.
would work together well, not just expecting me as the choreographer to produce something that looks exactly like another team that looks good because of the work that they put in
Yeah.
combination with my work. It was a
Yeah.
really long
What
tangent, but
what would you say like your process is leading up to it? Like, do you prefer coaches and I mean, I guess dancers if you're doing like a solo to say like, we really love this piece of music, do what you will with it, or would you rather just coaches give you complete freedom? Here are past videos of my team. Let it put what you think is going to look good on us. Like, what do you prefer?
I feel like I'm still learning. Like I feel like I've had
Mhm.
both situations. Honestly, this season I've been like, okay, it's really nice when I have a team be like, we want a jazz dance to this song, but only if it's like not a terrible song.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to have the same taste. Yeah.
Yeah, like oh, like I've had situations where I thought that was the right move and then I'm like, ooh, I don't feel this song at all and I'm it's like really a struggle for me to be creative to this.
Mhm.
So I would say I'm still learning like what I prefer.
Yeah.
I do hate the back and forth though. If I send like 10 songs
Oh,
and then they
yeah.
send me 10 more songs and then we're still not coming to a conclusion. Like I had a soloist this year where she and I were just going back and forth over and over. And I was like, and then we ended up just picking like one of the first ones she sent. And I was like, all right. And it ended up being great.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I don't know. I think the most important thing, regardless, is that like I mean, me, I want to be inspired, but at the end of the day, like the dancer is the one that is performing it and needs to love it. So if I like a song a little better, but it doesn't resonate as much as with the dancer, then I'm gonna go with the one that resonates with the dancer.
Yeah. Going back into social media space, when did you like start finding that niche of like, come choreograph with me, come travel with me? And on top of that, how do you keep up with it? I can never. I can never. I'm terrible at it and I
Okay,
can't.
I think you can. I'll start with that point and then I'll backtrack to the first part of your
For
question.
sure.
I think everyone can do what I do, like truly. Like I'm not doing anything. It is a lot of extra work, but it's really not hard. Like I my like most known videos are the ones of me just like in the studio teaching. I'm just
Yeah.
filming what I'm already doing. All I'm doing is putting up a tripod or like I am lucky my boyfriend's a videographer, so like if he can come I obviously have him film and you can tell the
Yeah.
difference. But it doesn't, I honestly don't think that like makes them go viral or not. Some of my best performing videos are just there's a tripod in front of me and I'm just
Yeah.
teaching. So that's like a whole separate point. It's just extra work. Like let's say I'm teaching an hour-long class at Broadway Dance Center is what I've been filming a lot lately. It's an hour and a half, actually, whatever. I put the camera in front of me and I'm filming that hour long class. So from that hour long, I can make like 10
Whatever.
videos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no kidding.
So
Wow.
it's like, it's not like I'm every day, okay, I have to film, I have to whatever, whatever. I have that content. Like I just filmed a class on Friday and I'm rolling out the footage this week from it. So it's extra work to like obviously cut down the videos, edit them, find
Yeah.
those moments. But if you put the work in every day, you get used to it. It goes faster. And yeah, I think it's just like setting aside that extra time, which you clearly already do for social
Yeah.
media. But yeah, it's just being willing to like put in the extra work. And obviously, when you see reward for it, it's motivating. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say, like, oh, yeah, it's super motivating when you have a video flop and you still have to post like 5 times a day, whatever.
It's
It's
not.
hard.
It's not.
Yeah, it's really hard. And I struggle with that. Like, I feel like I've grown so much, but there's still those videos that I'm like, why is no one seeing this? Like, I'm a
Yeah.
failure and no one remembers me and everyone hates me now, like all this stuff. And that's just part of the social media thing. But
Yeah.
yeah, I really do think that everyone can do what I do if they're willing to put in the work and kind of work through those ebbs and flows as well. And obviously finding your own style with it, right? Like, I think a lot of
Hmm.
people, I'm not saying I invented filming a class at all,
For sure.
but I think a lot of people will see someone like me and try to do exactly what I do. And you have to be yourself. Like that's going to shine
Absolutely.
through. Like my videos where I try and like sometimes I try to like actually be like, hey guys. And I'm not as used to like putting the camera up and talking to it as I am teaching a class in the studio. That's like me in my most natural, truest form. So that's,
Yeah.
I think, why it reads the best is when I'm being myself. Yeah. And I figured out I mean, I used to, going back to when I first started posting, I would post like a lot of finished products of dances
Mm,
because as dancers, yeah, I mean, we care about our work and we don't want to share maybe like a rehearsal video where we see a few mistakes and like things we
yeah.
want to clean. So I would only share like 5-second clips of like things that looked great, and they were getting a lot of viewership, but it wasn't translating to like a following and returning viewers and honestly work the way it is
Yeah.
now. And then once I tried the idea of like putting myself at the forefront, filming me talking through, breaking things down, and letting people in the room kind of pulling the curtain back, is when everything started taking off, because there's a bunch of dance teachers who relate to it, not just dancers, and just seeing themselves in my content. So goes back to like being
Yeah.
yourself the same way.
Yeah. I've been finding too, like, because I feel the same way. The ebbs and flows of social media is very daunting.
Mm-hmm.
I make this joke that I'm relevant for one season a year, which is like January to April, and then I fall off the
It's
face of
coming
the earth.
up.
And then people find me in January, they're like, "Oh, it's him again."
Yep.
But the ebbs and flows of the social media is very daunting. And since I've been able to have a podcast, like even just watching weekly numbers go up and down, it could be very stressful. I want to go into more of like the final product of what people see, right? And they don't really see a lot of the ins and outs of what's going on in the routine. How involved are you with teams when you're going and working with the team? Like, are you going back and returning on a regular basis to continue choreographing or clean? Or is it, here's my piece, I'm done with it, reach out to me if you need help because I'm busy? Like, what is it? What is the process?
It honestly depends on the team and like what they want. I've had teams that literally like I can't even get a hold of them. Like I'm like, "Hey, can I have an update video?" And
Yeah.
like it's crickets, which is like, frustrating. And then I've had teams that are like, "Hey, this like 1 and a 2, can we like look at this and switch this up?" And I'm like, "Girl,
Hmm.
like you can also take the liberty." Like it's like I'm being dramatic, but it like ebbs and
Yeah,
flows, but
yeah.
I'm as involved as like teams allow me and want me to be. Obviously, if it's on the other side of the country, it's difficult. But I mean, for example, something that I always try to do, which I think like resonates well with these teams and just means a lot to them, because I think that maybe a lot of choreographers don't, is like I will ask for, if you're far away from me, updated rehearsal video, and then I like screen record and send like voiceover critiques as like a judge would at a
Yeah.
competition,
Yeah.
just so one, like, yeah, they know I care and want to be involved in the process, and two, I do want to see and I do want to like help them out and give them feedback. And I just did that for a studio I worked with in San Diego for all their routines. And like, yeah, the director was
Love.
very, she was like, I am like, it's so amazing that you do this, like we don't have a lot of choreographers like actually like care to reach back out and like send in those critiques and like want to be a part of it. Like she definitely really appreciated that. So I feel like, yeah, it depends on what they want. Some teams, like I said, like don't, they just want to work on it and go for it. And I get a video at the end of the year and I'm like, wow, you did put in the work. That's amazing. Like slay.
Yeah, no kidding. So I wanna talk about something because I saw on your Instagram and I am very jealous that you met the one and only Dr. Holly. You are going to go to danceteamunion.com. Prodigy Dance Convention is coming to DTU Nationals, and dancers, coaches, anyone involved in the dance team world, you don't want to miss this. You are going to get real recruiting opportunities from recruits, from coaches, from top leaders that are in the dance team industry. And you're going to get those insights on what it really takes to level your career into the college dance team realm. With that, you're going to get advice. You're going to be able to talk to recruits. You're going to be able to make connections. You're going to have a faculty that truly loves dance team and wants to see you succeed. And for the first time ever, Prodigy Dance Convention comes to Dance Team Union Nationals. Get ready to elevate your performance and your future. Prodigy Convention blends elite training with real recruitment access. Explore jazz, hip hop, pom, technique, acro, plus chances to unlock one-on-one time with college recruiters. But what makes this event truly special is its home at DTU Nationals, hosted by Dance Team Union, an organization built to be bold, be authentic, be you. DTU was founded to bring a fresh coach and dancer focused approach to competition. They prioritize artistry along with technique, providing feedback that helps your team grow, not just compete. and foster a positive, inclusive atmosphere where each dancer is seen and valued. And now you have your chance to stand out. Registration is open, spots are limited. Go to danceteamunion.com to register and get ready to shine on February 5th at DTU Nationals in Orlando, Florida. Your story starts here. So it's so funny. You would think that like every dance teacher and every dancer and choreographer alive probably watched Dance Moms growing up. I did not. I was so anti Dance Moms growing up.
Wow.
There was something about the show that it just left, you know what I mean? So like I just stayed away.
Yeah. Yeah.
However, recently, probably the past like 2 months, my boyfriend started getting into Dance Moms and
Oh my
he
gosh,
was
you're a
getting hooked.
newbie.
Yeah, so I just started watching it like 2 months ago and like really deep diving into the episodes.
Oh my gosh.
Would you say that you grew up like a Dance Moms fan?
Yeah.
I need to hear the overall perspective, the thoughts of what
Well,
you
I want
think
to
of Dance Moms.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, if you only started 2 months ago, you probably didn't like. Where are you? Like, what's
Okay,
happening right now?
we just finished season 2, the text and
Okay.
drive, yeah, that number. We just finished
Iconic.
that one. Yes,
Iconic.
very iconic. We're like in season 3. We just got Sophia Lucia. So like we're
Oh my
like
god.
right in that era.
Wait, I am so jealous that you get to like experience this for the first time. Like I
I'm having the time of my life.
Oh my gosh, there are so many things that you just don't even know yet.
No
I
kidding.
um I think Dance Moms, like my overall take on Dance Moms like present day is that, I mean, whatever, you can put this on record. I think
Yeah.
Abby Lee Miller is disgusting.
Oh, I same. Same.
And yeah, and I give so much credit to those girls for like dealing with that, and I think that it's actually kind of really messed up like the whole entire show.
For sure.
Just yeah, we're just like watching little girls be traumatized.
Yeah.
However, for some reason it's my comfort show, and I think it's because I grew up similarly to them. Just like I grew up, I'm a couple years older than like most of the I think I am actually Brooke's age, I think.
Okay.
So I obviously resonated with them. I would come home from dance and like make my parents sit down and watch Dance Moms with me. My
Yeah.
dad would be like, "Why don't you and mom?" I'm like, "No, you have to watch." So
Oh, yes.
yeah, I think it's amazing. Number one, that like it's having another like renaissance. Like it's
I
resonating with
know.
students that I teach now. I like talk about like Maddie's solos, whatever, and I think that's crazy. But yeah, I think I don't know. I have like mixed feelings about it. However, I mean, iconic, and I can quote every single episode. But yeah, I think it's really sad that I think most of those girls don't even dance anymore. And I think like obviously the whole series and like having a camera on them so young like plays into it.
Yeah.
The Where I met Dr. Holly, who by the way is like an angel on earth.
I know. I hope one day I can have her on my podcast. That's like my dream guest.
Oh my dream guest on my podcast. Speaking of, you
Oh,
haven't even
maybe.
seen JoJo with a Bobo.
No, no, I haven't. I'm not even there yet.
Yeah, there's so many. That's awesome. But yeah, I mean, I met her at an event that Nia had for her book that just came out in New York
Mm,
City. And Nia's, you should read it. It definitely just like talks about kind of like how it was growing up with that
yeah.
behind the scenes, which is really cool. But yeah, Holly is an angel on earth. She was like really taking the time to talk to every single
Wow.
person who wanted to talk to her. And yeah, it was just amazing. And the girls are all so beautiful and mature and grown up now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's like cool that we as dancers get to like see that and be inspired by that, but also sad at the same time. And
Yeah.
I know
No
they just
kidding.
came out with like a new Dance Moms new era I haven't watched. Interested about that.
I was going to try and watch New Era when it first came out, and I watched like the first episode, and then I thought to myself, I was like, no, I need to watch the OG before I
Yeah,
even hop into the New
yeah,
Era.
yeah.
But I remind myself now as I'm watching it why I didn't want to watch it back then. But I have this thought about it because it was a different. Every time they say something, and I'm like, "Why would the moms allow? Why would Abby?" Then my boyfriend's
Yeah,
like, "It was a different time. Don't forget." And it reminds me that it really was a different
yeah,
time.
yeah,
And
it was.
back then, like I even knew teachers that acted exactly like Abby did. Now, of
Hmm.
course, you didn't have like the heightened of the drama of the parents and all they're running into the studio interrupting class, which we all know would never happen in a studio
Yeah,
setting. Like, so I have this perspective watching it of like, yeah, I just don't like Abby. I just
yeah,
don't like Abby.
yeah. I think Yeah, I always say like I mean never to the extreme that they dealt with because right, obviously it was produced, like no one was running in
Yeah.
studios, but I always say like I feel like I resonated with Chloe, like I feel like I was up there
Ooh,
in my studio owner's eyes, but not always the favorite. And like
yeah.
there are things that happened that should have never happened growing up in a small town at a dance studio.
Oh,
Just like the amount of like involvement in little kids' personal lives is just like
yeah.
insane, and taking that into the studio and deciding like who gets what opportunity. So like I resonated with a lot of that.
Yeah.
But obviously theirs was to the next extreme. And yeah, maybe it was just the time. I just think now, like as a
Yeah.
choreographer, I would never be like, oh, you like I don't
I
know,
know.
you're
I
friends
know.
with
I don't
this
even like
kid that
repeating.
I
I'm like,
don't
yeah.
like.
Just for
Yeah.
like, I'm probably gonna have to censor it, but like calling people or like and like things like when it's like that, me and my boyfriend were watching it and I was like, the parents coddling them after drives me crazy when they're like, oh my
Like,
gosh, Abby's
yeah.
just mad at you, blah blah. And I'm like, no, when we have a kid, if their dance teacher's talking like that, they're gonna learn how to talk back. Like they're not gonna sit there and take it. They're gonna talk right back to them.
Honestly, like not to spoil it, but I feel like JoJo was the first like kid that came in and like actually like talked back to Abby. I was gonna say as a like as someone like in Abby's role now, I just can't imagine like aside from all the name calling and everything, like yeah, just being like, well, your mom pissed me off, so you're in the back line. Like I don't,
It's
yeah,
insane. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, wait. There, I do wanna get your take on the pyramid system for a second
Oh
because
God,
it drives me. I feel like as dancers, we naturally compare ourselves to everyone in the room. So for someone
yeah.
to put it like right there in front of you, I'm like, we gotta get rid of this. Like, whose idea was this? It's gotta go.
I mean, obviously, like it was the producers. I think that,
Oh, for
but like,
sure.
but then I think Abby like ate it up. Like yeah, and I
I no,
think
I was gonna say Abby loved that pyramid. She loved
yeah,
putting
she's
me
like,
at the
why haven't
bottom
I
and
done
Maddie at the
this
top.
forever? Yeah. That's, I mean, that's insane. Again, yeah, something I remember like watching in real time being like, that would never happen. That would be insane, but
Yeah,
unacceptable.
yeah,
Like, just
absolutely.
insane.
Do you watch any of the Dance Moms podcast or YouTube channels or anything? I've
Yeah,
been watching
unfortunately, I
Christy.
am. Yes, unfortunately, I consume everything that they do. I don't even, it's not voluntary. Like, it's just like me since I was like 12 years old searching dance moms, like they
Oh
know I gotta
yeah,
watch it. So yeah,
yeah,
I do keep up. I
yeah. We tend to like watch an episode and then we'll watch like a recap with like Christy talking
That's
about
so
it.
fun that you can do that in
I
real
will
time because they
say,
have that.
I
Yeah.
I almost wish we didn't, only because she does give a lot of inside scoop. So I'm starting to see and notice things that are very producer led, which if I
Hmm.
didn't watch I wouldn't have even thought
Yeah.
about it. Like
Yeah.
my favorite is when Abby's teaching and you can tell the producers are pushing one of the moms to go interrupt and go talk
Hmm.
to Abby because the moms
Hmm.
will be like, I'm not going to do it. You go do it. Or you go do it. Or they're
Yeah.
yelling at someone and you can tell they're yelling at a producer, not a mom. It's
Yeah.
just, it cracks me up
Yeah, yeah, I definitely I also think that's part of just like seeing things
on
for how they
TV.
are as an adult and like on
Oh, yeah.
TV. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think as a kid I was like everything is real, which I think is some of the girls have come out and said like the moms and like the adults in the room knew that like we had a job to do. It was a reality show, so
Yep.
they needed to start these arguments, but we were 9, 10, 11 years old and we couldn't comprehend that. So everything was real to us even
Yeah.
if it was like for TV for them, which is really crazy.
Yeah. No kidding. Let's go. Okay. I want to ask about like challenges that you've had during like this career of because you said you graduated COVID year 20, so you've probably been like really full force into it 4 or 5 years now. Like what like challenges have you had in this journey of choreographing or working with an agency or any of the things, content creation? Like what challenges have you had?
I think I could like mention one for each. I mean, yeah, I think I'll start with just like choreographing and my like style as a choreographer in general. I think the biggest struggle that I've dealt with and I feel like first of all, like just this past year I've like started really like feeling comfortable. I think I've been
Mm,
hustling ever since I graduated to number one like do anything I can, figure out what works for me. And I very much still feel like I'm like in the beginning of what I want to do in this world.
yeah.
But I think that this year, like 2025, I finally realized like at the end of the day, like my choreography has to like feel good for me before I can make it feel good for anyone else. I used
Mm,
to feel like I had to, if I was hired by this team, for example, when I was talking about earlier, that would say like, oh, we want a routine like this one, I would be like, okay, so let me like look at this routine and think about how I can make it mold it into what they want, which of course you want it to be what they want, but it also like it's never going to flow out of my brain if I'm trying to be somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah,
And impress somebody else. Even like a class
for sure.
combo, I would be like, "Oh, I this combo needs to be like such a good combo because I'm teaching at this school or this studio or whatever, and they're
Mm,
really good, so I need them to think that my choreography is really good." And that was coming from like my own ego, just like wanting to be the best when really, especially in like a class setting, I've learned that it's really much less about like your choreography in general than it is about the vibe and the environment that you create.
oh
Like
yeah,
I even if a combo isn't like the best combo that a dancer's ever been taught and they love it, but I create just like an amazing, fun, safe environment, like that's what they will remember. And so yeah, just making sure that I feel good in my own choreography and it's what I like is something that I've really learned and really started to be okay with
yeah.
because yeah, I used to really put a lot of pressure on other people's opinions of my choreography and with social media obviously that's a huge
Hmm.
thing
I was
uh
about to ask.
I have really put pretty much like all of the work that I've done in the last
Yeah,
especially like 2 years is on my TikTok and on my Instagram.
yeah.
And that's a lot of eyes on it and that's a lot of opinions. And when I honestly am very thankful. A lot of the feedback I get is positive, but it is
Hmm.
funny. Like I can get a million positive comments and
It's
I
not
get that
one
one,
negative.
yeah, that's like this sucks or like whatever it
Yeah,
is, that is gonna like I'm gonna think about that one and I'm gonna be like,
yeah,
okay, they didn't like it because of this, so next time I choreograph, I need to think about this. And
yeah.
even if it's not necessarily the comments, even if it's like, okay, the last class that I shared that I did like a series on blew up, everyone loved it, millions of views, shares, whatever, like people are learning it and doing it, which is like the coolest thing ever. And then the next one, like crickets, nobody even
Yeah.
cares, nobody even sees it. And I'm like, oh, okay, that combo must have sucked. So I must
Yeah.
like learning to not put my worth in like the views themselves too is something
Yep.
that I'm still working through, but like realizing I'm aware of
Yeah.
as on social media. I think that's been the biggest challenge because yeah, you can have a
Yeah.
video blow up and then you can have nobody see it, but it's not really about the work. There's so many things that go into like the
No kidding.
algorithm and why things blow up.
I had this revelation of like I was beating myself down over all of these comments and over people that probably haven't watched one podcast episode, probably their first time seeing me on their For You page, and and people who are actually in the community and support me were like praising me over the things that were said and how I'm very forward with my thoughts and all of these things. So I was like, I need to just stop listening to the outside noise and just rely on or lean on the people who actually support me. With that being said, have you ever had to filter your comments?
Yes.
Same. I had to.
Yeah. I think for me, I'm very protective of the hate. When they're about me, it's one thing. Like I think that's something like I'm choosing to put myself out there and I'm whatever and yeah, I think to just quickly like comment on what you said, I think yeah, the difference between us and people who are going to leave those comments is like we're willing to put ourselves out there
Amen.
and they're willing to hide behind a comment and a screen. So it's like trying to remind yourself of that
And
because
most likely it's an anonymous profile
yeah,
with
someone who
0
knows nothing
followers.
about dance, someone who yeah, like it's the biggest hate comment that I get personally is like when I am teaching like instead of counting being like boom, boom, tick tick ha.
Oh.
It's like, why aren't you counting? You must have no dance experience. You don't know anything. Da 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 da. Like all this stuff, and it's like, okay, why don't you go take literally any class at Broadway Dance Center? I guarantee they're going to use some noises here and there.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, it's like people are mean, like about just like there are some angry people in the world. Like if me teaching a dance is really striking a chord that bad for you, I think I'm sorry
No
for
kidding.
you. Like
Actually, I have a funny story for you really quick. This is actually I'm the same way. I do not count, and
Yeah.
that's kind of where my name came from, No Counts Given.
Love.
And, like, because 'cause I'm the same way, I'm in
Yeah,
choreography jobs,
same.
I'm like, I'll count you in 5, 6, 7, 8. After that, you're not
Me.
hearing another count
Yep.
until the final one. So, there's more reasons how we got the name, but that's, like, me, I don't give counts. I'm like,
Yeah.
"You're gonna go on a boom, boom, ga you're gonna" so, yeah. Anyways.
It's hard. I like, and I think that's something that social media has like gotten in my head a little bit about, because it really is like, because like I said, I am just sharing what I'm already doing, and so me teaching is me saying boom doom da 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 whatever.
Yeah.
Like I could never take if you came to my studio and be a little more whatever, but at the end of the day, like every time I'm on a job and I'm like, do you guys want like counts, or can I, and they're like, oh, we like lyrics
Yeah,
or noises, because
yeah.
those are dancers. Like those are dancers, and
Yes.
that's how dancers are. Like
Absolutely,
those,
and when you move on and you go professional, like, I guarantee you, the
yeah.
choreographers you're working with, they're not gonna give you those exact
Well,
counts.
the reason we teach like that is because that's the way that we learned. And it's
Yeah,
just, yeah, it's just
yeah,
people hiding behind a screen, but it does get in your head. Yeah,
it
and
does.
to answer your question, I have muted comments, and it's rarely about me, unless sometimes something strikes a chord. Like people comment on like whatever my looks or things like that,
Yeah,
and I'm like, okay, bye.
yeah,
If it's about like a dancer and their like ability or anything about them, like obviously I always have permission from studios and parents and whatever, but they still didn't
absolutely.
ask for that, so I will always keep an eye
Yeah,
on that, because I know that they're excited to be in my videos and watching them, and I never want them to see something negative about
for sure.
themselves. So
And I'm happy you do that. I've been
yeah.
trying to be a little bit more proactive with that as well too, since I have like podcast guest on, and sometimes a clip I do like crazy numbers on TikTok, and I'm like, I have to watch the comments because
Yeah.
I've had times where people will just come on and try and go for someone's looks or their appearance
Hmm.
or anything, and it's like, why?
It's
What does that do
insane.
for you? It never makes sense.
It's
The
insane.
one comment I've learned I had to, or the keyword or whatever it is that I've started muting on my TikTok is the words "shut up."
Oh my god. Because it's a
Because
podcast. Like, what are you gonna do?
well,
You
no,
have to talk.
it's from my reaction videos. They're
My
like,
god.
and I was thinking about one time doing like a video of just like all the shut up
You
comments just like
should.
flickering the top, and I'm just behind reacting to a blank screen or like a dance video doing absolutely nothing. I'm like, what do you want me to do? I'm
You
reacting to a
should.
video. Like,
That's such a good, I can't wait to see that video. You should do that video. That's funny.
I will make sure I send it to you.
Yeah,
What
sometimes yeah, go
oh no, go ahead,
ahead.
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Sometimes yeah, if I'm like feeling like if something hits me right and I have the time, sometimes I will like respond to. Like I think the last comment I like clapped back at was like, and I'm
Yeah,
not even like, I'm not rude, but somebody was like, especially with solos, like my choreography process is very much like on the spot building on that dancer. So I was doing that in a video and I was like testing things, and they were like, you're unprepared, like it's hindering your choreographic process, like all these things. So I just kind of talked about why that's my choreography process in response to the comment. So you can always
yeah.
like put people in their place, but if they want to hate, they still will. Like I've done that in the
Oh
past, and
yeah,
people will still be like, okay, well, you're sorry, can I
yeah.
swear?
No, that's fine.
And
That's fine.
I'm
Go
like,
ahead on.
okay, like whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, same. I think how can I say? It's a little more I get 100% where you're coming from. I have challenges on my end sometimes that I'm like, I know you feel okay saying this because I'm a male. Like for
Mm,
example, the clip that I was literally just talking about that was a podcast clip. Like there was people on there that was like, "Oh no, not a grown man commenting on this cheerleader's whatever dance routine or whatever it is." And
yeah.
I'm like, one, do you not understand like how I
Like
got
this is
here to
your
this point?
job. Like you're in this
It's
industry.
yes, and like I did clap back to that comment, and I was
Yeah.
like, I like to think of myself as a dance sports broadcaster. Like that's my mindset. And they're like, broadcaster, laughing about you. Like,
Yeah.
okay,
They'll
you go get a
always.
podcast, girl. Well, let's try. But it's like, I try and clap back sometimes, but I've been finding that I need to be just a little bit more careful in the way that I respond back, because people will find any way to
Yeah.
twist anything that you say, do, move, groove. Like
Hmm.
it's insane.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
They're
insane.
they're gonna like find something else to say to whatever you say back. So you just have to
Yeah,
know that if you're gonna
yeah,
say it. And yeah, sometimes it
yeah.
strikes a chord, and I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have. Like I don't know if you're on. my Instagram reels like share to Facebook, so I don't really like look at my Facebook that much,
Yeah.
but it's there.
Uh-huh.
And girl, that
I
audience
know.
is like
Listen,
like
people think Instagram is unhinged. You need to
oh
go on
my,
Facebook. It's
it's insane. Like they will like this girl again. I was working with a soloist, and I was explaining the choreography to her, and the comments were like, "You can't even move. She's a better dancer than you." Because I was explaining the choreography to her, and then
come
like,
on.
and they're like, "Yeah, she's standing there smiling at you because she knows that you can't even dance and she can." Like, it's just like, what an interesting way to interpret a video. Like, you just
I
have
have a
to
funny
laugh.
story actually. Yeah, Facebook is unhinged. But one time, so my grandma, shout out my grandma. I love my gram.
Love.
Shout out gram. Anyways, I was scrolling on. She's an avid Facebooker. Listen, she's
Yes,
the
honestly,
boomerang.
mine
You
too.
get it. Like
Yeah.
so, I was scrolling on like Facebook, and sometimes I notice that Facebook will push reels out to you because of your like fall or your friends are commenting on it. And there was
Yeah.
this like funny Zumba. My grandma's a Zumba instructor. Funny Zumba video, and I click on it, and of course the first person that I see commenting is my grandma, and it
So
was like
funny.
something like, "I think the girl in the back needs to teach the class" or something like that. This comment has Marissa. This comment had like 2,000 likes on it. I was like, "Okay, grandma, pop
Oh my
up."
god. Was it your grandma in my comments saying that the
Yeah,
student
it
was a
probably
better
was.
dancer
It
than me?
probably was.
Like, that's
I
so
yeah.
funny.
I worry sometimes of the things that my grandma
So
leaves. Sometimes I have
funny.
to text
Yeah,
her and be like, "You can't say that. You can't do
they
that."
just like don't realize. Yeah, I feel like people, and it goes back to like, yeah, we're just like on a screen to them, not like real
Yeah,
people. So they're just like, oh, it's not gonna, they're not even gonna see it. Let
yeah.
me just say
It's
whatever.
insane. Yeah. What competition circuits would you say that you like primarily maybe choreograph for? Like what competition circuits? Because I see you do solo, so obviously studio competitions. Any like dance team events that you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I'm definitely like just kind of doing whatever wherever the wind takes me. I think this season I have a lot more studios, so like
amazing.
classic studios. In the past I've had a lot of like Illinois state routines like Lyons Township that I mentioned, and I
Hmm.
also worked for a couple years with a school called Whitney Young, which is in Chicago, and they were amazing. Loved working with
Mm-hmm.
them. And they were one of my first teams that like shared and really like popped off and people fell in love with. But yeah, I think I'm trying to. I have a few teams going to NDA this year. I
Oh,
don't
amazing.
think I have any NDTC high schools.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think actually a lot of them like switched this year to NDA. I believe.
Yeah, that's a thing that's I feel it's gonna be
Yes,
happening the next like
yes, I've heard
I
the
was actually thinking like last year this point, I was thinking that this year was gonna be the year that teams switch. I or like start thinking about switching between competition circuits, but I think it's gonna be like juggling for the next like 2, 3 years actually. I feel like
yeah,
teams are gonna go try one circuit, maybe fall in love with it, maybe not try another one, and then just kind of like go through
like
and
figure out what
find a
works for
way,
them.
yeah. But
Yeah.
I've been noticing, I think this is might be the third or fourth team I've seen on Instagram that kind of like vaguely announced that they're doing like UDA and then also doing like Dance Team Union nationals
Mm,
as well too, College Classic.
interesting.
Because there's this rule with varsity that you can't do like two of their nationals events. And so since DTU, this is just my assumption, since DTU is not under the varsity
Yeah,
umbrella, like they're like,
that
okay,
makes
well we can get
sense.
around with this and do this. So that's kind of exciting to see that
That is
integration,
exciting. Yeah, and for them to just have another like big comp and
right?
chance and season to be like longer,
Yeah,
not all leading up to this one thing. So that is cool.
I know. I feel like that's a great time point too for teams to like compete January, February, and then again like April. Because I mean, especially
Yeah.
if teams want to be like ICU, Team USA, you're gonna have to be doing that. So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
excited to see like how that integration happens these next few
Yeah,
years.
definitely.
Yeah. How would you describe your contemporary lyrical jazz style? Like, how would you describe your staple style?
Yeah, I think that I've just like I said this year like really like honed in on my own style, and it's something I used to be insecure, not insecure, but like I used to feel like I had to switch things up so much. I used to be like,
Yeah.
okay, well I did this, so now I can't do any of this move in my next choreography, and I think I've just really leaned into again like what feels good to me. And I think that people, I get comments that like they can, my choreography is very recognizable now, which is super exciting. And to me, it's very musically driven. Like I know there's choreographers that they don't like I've met like ballet choreographers that don't
Mm,
even like listen to music, like they choreograph and then they put the moves to music. I could never do that.
yeah,
I
same.
yeah, like I'm just listening to the music and like reacting to it, honestly, is like the best way to describe it. And I think the music that resonates with me is always like something that like is emotional but also like hard hitting so that I can play
Mm,
with like the contrast of those
oh,
two
for sure.
feelings. Like I want to like hit beats hard and have that like hardness, but then I also want to have
Uh-huh.
like things flow and be breathy and tell a story. I think that's always the
Yeah.
most important thing to me is storytelling, and I have a million videos of me saying that in classes because like that is what we see so many, like I think that's why the even in dance team, like I think that's why the routines that resonate with us. And I think it's awesome, like we've clearly seen like dance team is blowing up in the last like few
Yeah.
years, and I think that's really cool because coming from like a studio background, when I started working with dance teams, I would have like I on the at the time was like on staff regularly at studios. Now I just kind of like vibe somewhere different every day. But I would be like, oh, I'm gonna go choreograph for like this dance team. They'd be like, dance team. They would be like,
Yeah.
that like how do you like whatever, and it was like this, I don't know, there was like this
Yeah.
divide and like,
Yeah.
oh, that's not like, to me it felt like it was like just, oh, they think like palms and like
Yes.
whatever, which palm also can
Cheerleading
tell a
and
story.
yeah.
But yeah,
Exactly. Thank you.
but yeah, it's yeah, anyway, all this to say like I would say like I actually have found like a lot of artistry in it, and I do like appreciate it, and I like it. I don't think that that like whatever, yeah, I
Yeah.
would say like I found a lot of artistry in the dance team world, and I think that you can be athletic and artistic at the same
I
time.
agree. I agree.
So I love that we're seeing that and that we're getting like the eyes on dance team for that
Mhm.
reason. Like even looking at the top routines at UDA from last year, like they were so like obviously Minnesota's was like so emotional, but also like Ohio's was like telling such a story as well, and like
Yes.
such a performance. And having dancers be able to see that you can do both is
Yeah.
really important to me, obviously in my choreo, but it's nice that like those top teams are also getting the eyes on them.
No kidding. I think it's just generally important as well too. I think people fail to forget that, once you leave dance team or dance studio and you go into a commercial space, you go into a Broadway, you go onto tour, you're telling a story in all of those aspects. Someone's tour, I mean, I think of like Sabrina Carpenter, her whole tour that she just had, every show told a story from top to
Yes.
bottom. You go
Yes.
on Broadway, you're telling someone else's story. You go on a commercial, you're selling a story for a brand. So I think it's so important to teach that storytelling aspect and to, teach athletes and kids. Your story might not be my story, but here's the feeling. How are you going to
Exactly.
build that story to meet the expectations
Exactly.
of the choreographer?
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that. Marissa, I'm running out of time.
No, we
I could
could
keep
chat
on
forever.
yapping. I have my dance team union meeting in 5 minutes. I appreciate you hopping on. I think we're gonna have to do another episode because I'm
Yeah.
gonna be honest
Yeah.
with you,
So
I
many
got through
other
like
points.
4 of my questions, so
I can
I
really chat.
appreciate you. Yeah, no kidding, and I love talking dance, and I can tell you do too, so thank you so much for hopping on the podcast. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Thanks for
I hope you
having
have a great
me.
Wednesday. This comes out tomorrow. I'm gonna be editing all night, so
Amazing. I'm excited
yeah,
to
thank you
see.
again. I hope you guys enjoyed today's interview with Marissa. Marissa, thank you for hopping on the podcast. I hope everyone has a great Thursday. Don't forget to subscribe. Oops, I just kicked my desk. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all of the things. And I will see you next Tuesday for another episode of No Counts Given.